The most powerful thing you can do to someone who hates you is nothing. Seriously, they're baiting you. They are desperate for a reaction. They want to see you get angry, get defensive, or break down. Because if they can control your emotions, they can control you. When you respond to that kind of negativity, you're walking right into a manipulative trap. Refusing to play along, that's how you keep your power. This video is for anyone who's tired of letting other people's negativity steal their peace. I'm going to show you the psychological trick they're using and how to turn their hate into your ultimate source of fuel. We're going to dismantle their entire game piece by piece so you can walk away not just unharmed but stronger than before. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand that their need for a reaction is their biggest weakness, and your refusal to give it is your greatest strength. The problem: the hater's game. Let's be real for a second. Being the target of negativity, criticism, or just pure hate feels awful. It's a gut punch that can shake your confidence and wreck your peace. Whether it's a string of nasty anonymous comments, a coworker who subtly undermines you, or even a family member who finds fault in everything you do, that sting is real. Our first instinct is to defend ourselves, right? We want to set the record straight, explain what we really meant, and fight back. We get this burning desire to make them understand they're wrong. Our mind starts racing, replaying their words, trying to cook up the perfect comeback. We think, if I could just explain it, they'd get it. And that's the first trap, because the person on the attack is rarely interested in understanding. They're not looking for clarity. They're looking for your emotional energy. Think of it as a game, but it's a game with hidden rules that you've been tricked into playing. The goal of the hater or the troll isn't to win an argument. It's to get a reaction. Your anger, your tears, your frustration, that's their trophy. It's a twisted way for them to feel good. It might give them a fleeting sense of power, a distraction from their own miserable life, or maybe just the sick satisfaction of upsetting someone else. When you react, you're telling them they've won. You're signaling, yes, you got to me. You got under my skin. You've just handed them the prize they were after. By responding, you let them pull you down into their arena of negativity. And in their world of misery and anger, they always have the home field advantage. The real danger here isn't the insult itself. Words are just pixels on a screen. The real danger is what happens inside you when you let those words take root. You start doubting yourself. You lose focus. You waste precious time and mental energy on someone who brings zero value to your life. Their negativity becomes a thief, stealing your joy, your creativity, and your momentum. This is why seeing the game is the first step to winning it. You have to see their attacks not as a fair critique, but as a desperate bid for your attention. They're playing a shallow, predictable game. And once you see the board for what it is, you can choose to just walk away. The only winning move is not to play. The revelation, the three truths about their motives. There. To truly master the art of not reacting, you have to look past the insult and see the broken machine behind it. When you understand why they're lashing out, the what they're saying loses its power. Their words stop being about you and start being a confession about them. While motivations can vary, trolls and chronically negative people are often driven by some common underlying issues. Let's expose three of the most common truths behind their behavior. Truth number one: their hate is a projection of their own failure. This one is huge. Projection is a defense mechanism where someone takes their own unwanted feelings or failures and pins them on someone else. Think of it like a movie projector. The messed up film is inside the machine, but the ugly picture shows up on the screen. Well, you're the screen. Their insecurities, their disappointments, their self-hatred, that's the film. When someone who has given up on their own dreams sees you chasing yours, it can be deeply triggering. Your success is a spotlight on their inaction. Your courage highlights their fear. Instead of dealing with their own shortcomings, which is hard work, it's just easier to attack you. So the person calling you arrogant, They're often wrestling with a crushing insecurity. The one calling your work stupid, they're likely frustrated with their own creative block. Their criticism isn't really about you at all. It's a roundabout confession of their own pain. Once you truly get this, their insults just transform. They're no longer arrows, they're boomerangs that fly right back and reveal the person who threw them. Truth number 2, they feed on your emotional response. Ever heard of an energy vampire? It's not just from spooky stories. It's a great way to describe a real psychological dynamic. Toxic people, especially those with narcissistic traits, often feel empty inside, and they try to fill that void by draining emotional energy from others. Your reaction is their food. Every time you get angry or defensive, you're feeding them. It gives them a rush, a sense of control that's missing from their own lives. In a twisted way, your strong emotional response makes them feel powerful. They've successfully messed with your head, and that gives them a temporary high. This is why arguing with a hater is a total waste of time. You're trying to use logic and reason with someone who only cares about the emotional explosion. They don't care about your facts. They just care that you're hooked. They thrive on chaos because it distracts them from their own inner emptiness. When you refuse to give them that emotional reaction, you are, in effect, starving them. You're cutting off their supply. Their whole game depends on you playing along. Without your participation, they're left all alone with the very emptiness they were trying to escape. Truth number 3, they want to pull you into their misery. There's a perfect metaphor for this. The crabs in a bucket mentality. If you put one crab in a bucket, it can climb out. But if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, as soon as one starts to climb, the others will pull it right back down. That's the hater's mindset. They're stuck in a bucket of their own misery, and they can't stand to see anyone else get out. People who are unhappy often build a worldview that justifies it. They believe success is a scam, everyone is faking their happiness, and the world just sucks. When you show up full of ambition and positivity, you threaten that whole story. You're living proof that they might be wrong. That's a terrifying thought for them. So, instead of being inspired, they feel threatened. Their instinct is to pull you down into the bucket with them. They'll try to convince you your dreams are dumb and you're going to fail, just like they did. They want to drag you into their misery because if you're miserable too, it makes them feel better about their own life. It proves they were right all along. Your success is a threat to their story, and they will do anything to pull you back into it. If this is making sense and you're ready to stop letting other people's issues control your emotions, take a second to subscribe. This channel is all about building that mental toughness so you can focus on what actually matters. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's get back to it. The solution: turning negativity into fuel. Okay, so we know their playbook. We know their hate is really a confession. Their goal is a reaction, and their motive is misery. Knowing that is half the battle. But now let's talk about how to use that knowledge. This is where we stop being a player in their game and start becoming the architect of our own peace. This is where you turn their poison into your power. Part 1, mastering the art of non-reaction during the art. Your ultimate superpower is mastering the art of non-reaction. This isn't about bottling up your anger until you explode. It's about observing the emotion, feeling it, and then consciously choosing not to let it control you. This is a core idea from Stoic philosophy. The Stoics taught that we can't control what happens to us, but we can always control our response. As the philosopher Epictetus said, if someone responds to insult like a rock, what has the abuser gained? Bah. The goal is to become that rock, not cold, but solid, unmovable. A brilliant modern technique for this is the gray rock method. The idea is simple. Make yourself as uninteresting as a plain gray rock. Toxic people feed on drama. A gray rock offers none. Now, this strategy is best for trolls, anonymous critics, or manipulative people you can't avoid. It's not a tactic for a healthy argument with a loved one where open communication is needed. This is a self-preservation tool. When they try to provoke you, give them nothing. Short, non-committal answers, neutral tone, no defending, no explaining. You become boring. If they send a hateful message, you can ignore it or reply with a simple "I see" or "okay." This will drive them nuts. They're trying to light a fire, and you're giving them wet sand. They might even get louder at first, trying harder to get that reaction. This is the key moment. Hold your ground. By consistently being a gray rock, you teach them that coming to you for emotional fuel is a waste of their time. Eventually, they'll get bored and go look for an easier target. You win by making yourself an unfulfilling target. Part 2, the fuel reframe. Being a gray rock protects your peace. This next step is how you go on offense, not by attacking them, but by using their negativity to launch yourself forward. It's a powerful mental switch. See their hate not as an attack, but as evidence. There's a saying that goes, if you don't have haters, you're not making enough noise. Think about it. Criticism is often a sign that you matter. It means you're doing something, making an impact, shaking things up. People who play it safe rarely attract any attention at all. So, the next time you get a negative comment, instead of letting it sting, reframe it as a weird sort of milestone. It's a signal that you're on the right track. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for TV. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers. They didn't let the critics stop them. They used the hate as fuel. You can do the same. Start seeing every nasty comment as a unit of fuel. Every "you can't do it" becomes another reason to work harder. Every insult is a reminder of why you have to succeed. You can even create a fuel file. Screenshot the comments, save the rejection emails. When you feel your motivation fading, look at them. Let that frustration transform into energy for your goals. Let it sharpen your focus. Their attempt to break you becomes the very thing that builds you. Their desire to see you fail becomes the engine for your success. Part 3, actionable techniques for emotional regulation. This all sounds great, but it's tough to do when your heart is pounding and you're seeing red. You need some practical, in-the-moment tools to manage that stress response. First is conscious breathing. When someone provokes you, your body goes into fight or flight. The fastest way to shut that down is with deep breathing. Before you even think of replying, take 3 slow, deep breaths. In for 4 seconds, hold for 4, out for 6. This simple act tells your brain you're safe and flips the switch on your body's panic response. That pause is everything. It's the space between their attack and your response, and that's where your power is. Second, label your emotions. Instead of being consumed by a feeling, just name it. Say to yourself, okay, this is anger, or I'm feeling frustration right now. This mindfulness trick creates distance. You stop being the anger and start observing it. When you can watch the wave, you're no longer getting swept away by it. Finally, redirect or remove. If you're in a situation you can't easily leave, change the subject. Ask a question about something totally different. If they keep pushing, you have every right to protect your peace. Just say, I'm not going to discuss this right now, and excuse yourself. It's not rude to walk away from a conversation that's designed to drain you. It's an act of self-respect. We've unmasked the haters' game. We've seen that their negativity is almost never about you, but is a confession about their own inner chaos. We know that what they want, more than anything, is your emotional reaction. But more importantly, we've laid out a new path, a path where you refuse to play their game, a path where you become the unmovable rock and use their hate as fuel. This journey is the ultimate act of taking back your power. You stop letting other people, especially miserable people, have a remote control for your emotions. You realize your peace of mind is your most valuable asset, and you refuse to give it away. Remember, their need for a reaction is their weakness. Your refusal to give it is your greatest power. When they throw their insults, they're hoping to see you stumble. They want to know they got to you. Don't give it to them. Let your silence be your answer. Let your progress be your argument. And let your success be your revenge. They wanted a reaction. Let the one they get be watching you thrive.